Hello and welcome everybody to another excellent episode of PNSQ Chronicles, if I dare say so myself. And frankly, if they are excellent, it's not got anything to do with me, but it's got everything to do with our speakers, our contributors, and our guests. And I'm happy to announce that we have a guest on this program that not only shares a name with me, but shares a passion in quality and in speaking and presenting and all those fun things that go with it. If you don't know who Diana Larsen is, you got to get out more often. But I'd like to very much say, Diana, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome, Michael. We had such a good time last year. I was eager to come back and do another one this year. So
Super happy to go. I'm
yeah,
glad to hear that. Now
yeah,
we've got you in two things going on this year. We have you as part of a
yeah.
panel discussion that's going to be taking place. And I want to focus
Hmm.
on that first, but I also want to make sure that we leave a little bit of time to talk
Yeah.
about the workshop that you're doing. So let's primarily focus on the panel discussion. And that is
Hmm.
beyond checkboxes, exploring the multidimensional nature of diversity in software quality. Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, right.
I think for many of us that have been in this industry for long enough, we realize that diversity is a genuine strength, but we're also facing headwinds at this moment because of a political
Yeah.
factor and other factors that are trying to either erase or push those back. And I'm certain
Hmm.
that has to be part of
Yeah.
this conversation, correct?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we don't actually know what the conversation is going to be until we show up when we get there.
Exactly.
And I think Phil has been very cagey about sort of not telling us what the questions are going to be, or the topics, but we are an interesting group of panelists, and I think we represent a lot of different points of view. I am really eager to see where we end up taking this, frankly. Yeah. I mean, I'm as curious as you are, maybe.
For completeness sake, Diana is going to be one of the participants on this. We also have Caroline Wong, Frank Liggett, Dr. Gwendolyn Avington, and Elaine Hsieh is going to be the moderator for this conversation.
Right, right,
This sounds like it's
right.
going to be a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to hearing it, frankly.
Yeah, me too.
Diana is also giving a workshop on the first day, that's Monday,
Mhm.
and that is Agile team chartering or team chartering in general. So, can you give us a little bit of a taste of what that's going to be about?
Well, it's based a bit on the book that I wrote with Ainsley Neese called Liftoff, Start and Sustain Successful Agile Teams. A big part of that book is the idea of chartering teams, which means right at the beginning or right at a reset point. Sometimes teams get into trouble and need a little opportunity to kind of stop, take a breath, and reset. In general, we're talking about when you first get a team get started. If it's a remote team, or even if it's a co-located team, that's a really good time to set the tone and make sure that the team is poised to really work well together right from the get-go. So you can talk, I mean, it's a way of accelerating them into performance and productivity because they get some agreements worked out and they end up not going through some of the thrashing that teams that don't get a chance to have that conversation can get into in the early days, weeks, months of them working together. So chartering looks at what are some of the fundamental things that it's helpful for the team to know and to discuss before they start working together. So they're starting on the same page.
Yeah, I can definitely see that that would be hugely
Yeah.
helpful. I know oftentimes I will have stories or situations thrown at me, and many of the times I'll be looking at them going, okay, I know this is work that I have to do, but sometimes it does feel like the work is just being put there because we have features we need to meet. But
Yeah.
sometimes we don't even really know that the features are worthwhile. Years ago,
Yeah.
I was introduced to a tool called Pendo. And it's
Mhm.
just you put it into pages and it shows you how often people actually connect on it. And I found that interesting, not so much because that was a you know, excellent tool or anything. But what it did show us was certain features that we felt were mission critical were barely ever getting touched. Or sometimes we would find that, yeah, these features might be barely getting touched, but the people who were using them, it was their absolute lifeblood. And it was
Right.
mission critical for those people to have those in there. And that's
Yeah.
part of the conversation you need to have. So I'm
Right.
guessing that would be certainly part of how you would.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and part of this comes about the number of times, I mean, still, I mean, it's a second edition, was published in 2016. So it's been out there for almost 10 years. And I still walk into teams all the time when I ask them, "Oh, tell me what you're building. What's unique about it? How does it contribute to the direction of the business?" They just stare at me blankly. They have no idea why they are building what they are building. And Simon Sinek says start with why for everything, just about. But I mean, that's a big part of chartering the team is helping them understand what's their purpose? Why are they even being brought together? Why have these people been selected to work on this chunk of work or these set of features? What are we trying to accomplish with that? And oftentimes teams are completely in the dark about that. And I'm just shocked. I mean, it just seems like an obvious thing to spend some time on when you're getting a team started, but so many people don't. And then there's some other things too that are helpful to look at. But that's a huge one. And so that's a piece of chartering is understanding the purpose. And in the way Ainsley and I looked at it, a purpose really has kind of three parts. It has the vision for the product. What is it we hope that this product will accomplish? How will it make someone's life better? Presumably, our customer or our user, how will their life be improved if we build this product? What is the aspects of that we're really going for? And then, secondly, the team mission. So, what's the work that we expect the team will need to do to manifest that vision? Or sometimes multiple teams will work on the same vision, but they have different missions associated with it. How do we know what this team is doing versus that team is doing so that they can be clear and not end up with a lot of dependencies and overlaps and handoffs and all that kind of stuff that gets everybody in trouble? And then finally, how will we know if we're making progress toward our goal, toward manifesting that vision? There are some techniques for doing that. And so all those three things are a part of the purpose. A team doesn't have to spend a ton of time on it because they're only creating a draft. This is not a set in stone kind of charter, last forever. This is a draft that the team will have a chance to look at over and over again, whatever they feel like maybe the understanding is going off, or maybe the business actually has taken a different direction and this isn't our purpose anymore. They can stop and examine that and ask some questions about it and then rejigger how their purpose is written so that it stays consistent with what the work actually is. Having that information at the beginning of an endeavor makes a huge amount of difference for people getting it done, bringing the value to the organization that the organization's hoping to get. It's a huge blind spot in many organizations that they don't think to bring the team in on that. One of the things that we talk about when we're talking about chartering is it's really two meetings. There's one meeting that we have, whoever the facilitator is, that we have with the product people and whatever maybe the product sponsor in the organization to have them write that first draft purpose description so that we get clear about what is their intent. And then we can take that. Then the second set of meetings, which is with the team, we can take that to the team and say, is this clear and understandable to you? Does what we think the work is, does it match what you think you're closest to the work? Does it match what you think the work will actually be?
All right. Well, it sounds like
Yeah.
quite a lot that you'd be able to experience.
Yeah.
Key thing to note here is that if you want to participate in this team chartering workshop, you have to be in Portland to do it. If this has piqued your interest and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I want to be part of this, this sounds really cool, then you're going to have to make
Yeah.
sure that you are either in the Portland area or make your way to Portland for the
Yeah.
conference, which is October 13th,
Yeah.
15th. The workshops are on Monday, October 13th. So get to pnsqc.org, go to that register link, sign up, and pick this workshop to be part of, and
Yeah.
you can figure out how to do all of
Yeah.
it. Now, if there are some people who have been listening to this thinking, I would love to be part of the conference, I want to participate, but I just can't. Well, we know that you have several books that are out on the market, plenty of other details that they can look into. But if they want
Yeah.
to just pick your brain real quick, is there a way for them to do that with you?
Well, the best way is to either subscribe to my newsletter, and then you know where I'm going to be when I'll be accessible, or connect with me on LinkedIn. You can send me a LinkedIn message. I can give you the information about how to set up a Zoom meeting or whatever. And, we kind of take it from there. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Diana, thank you so much again for joining us for another episode of PNSQ Chronicles. And to everybody out there, thank you for listening and watching. We hope to see you in Portland on the 13th to 15th. And if for some chance we don't, we're looking forward to getting together with you again real soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye.